Two Ohio tracks went against the national tours and allowed taller sprint car wicker bills this season. I spoke to some area drivers, and I'll share today what I learned about whether it's working or not. Plus, I've got a Brady Bacon hot take and a rundown on Tuesday's racing action. Let's go. It's Wednesday, May 22nd. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. One of the stories we talked about a few times earlier this season is the ongoing situation with sprint car wicker bill sizes in sprint car racing. We know the national tours have gone to 1-inch wickers on the tail edge of the wing to experiment, and a lot of regional areas have followed suit. Remember, the hope here was to maybe fix some of the issues with dirty air by dropping that wicker from 2 inches down to 1, hopefully make the racing better. One area, though, went completely against the grain and decided against both dropping the inch or leaving it at 2. Attica and Fremont in Ohio decided to instead add an inch and make it so that teams could have the option to run as much as a 3-inch wicker bill. I've been asked about this recently, and I figured since we're a few races deep now into the Ohio season, we could get some feedback. I talked to 3 area sprint car drivers yesterday and had all 3 basically tell me the same thing, that the 3-inch wicker just doesn't make sense unless the tracks really get slick. And that hasn't been the case so far early this year. One driver said his team decided to not even buy 3-inch wickers yet, and another said their team tried them here and there but ended up back on the 2-inch. A driver also told me they've been trying to stay on the 1-inch where possible just to help themselves out for when they race against the national tours. And that was a point that came up when this rule was announced a while back, that by not keeping everyone in line with the tours, that local guys could have a tougher go of it when they race against the Outlaws and High Limit. You can think about they're going to be setting their race cars up for taller wickers, then they go race against the Outlaws or High Limit, have the smallers, and now their setups don't work. The chatter about the wickers has definitely quieted down from where it was early on, but I do think it's having an effect on the racing and some drivers this season. Like the new sprint car tire that was introduced a year ago, I think it's definitely helped some guys and hurt some others. Now, if you look at standings, look who's done well, look who hasn't done well this year, you can definitely find out who I'm talking about. The cream will always rise to the top, and those that have struggled will figure it out, but I do think this has been a factor this year that just hasn't been talked about enough. Speaking of sprint cars without wings on them and don't have to worry about wickers, the USAC sprint cars kicked off a 3-race week at Terre, Haute last night with the 54th running of the Tony Holman Classic. I tweeted this out this morning, but I can never get over how absolutely massive Terre Haute looks watching sprint car races there. It feels like Talladega. The track is just so wide, the straightaways seem to go on forever. And I wonder if that's scary as a driver, or if it's better knowing you have some kind of extra space to maneuver. I'll start first here with the night's B-main. Kevin Newton gets junked coming to the white for absolutely no reason, and these are situations I have a hard time understanding. It's supposed to be 8 cars, the B-main ends up as just 7, Nate Irvin not close out back, so the top 6 are all going to make the main event. Matt Goodnight makes a move into 3 with a slider on Newton racing for 3rd. The 16TH gets fed that right rear, and then he goes for a big ride. I understand that racers race and guys are fighting for spots, but that's just absolutely brutal. Newton didn't deserve it, and it's an unnecessary risk to take when you're already in the feature. It's not like Goodnight was going to gain anything by getting that spot. And in the process, he puts his own car and his own situation at risk if he then crashes. In the main event, we saw 3 different leaders with pole sitter Kevin Thomas Jr. out front early, then Jake Swanson leading a bunch of laps. Swanson hadn't led laps in a USAC feature since he won at Lincoln Park last July. He didn't win this one, though, with Logan Seavey getting by him late to take the rifle trophy. Swanson ended up 2nd with Brady Bacon 3rd. Seavey extends the championship lead with 2 nights at Circle City up next. Seavey, Kyle Cummins, Jake Swanson winners at Circle City in 2023. USAC will be there tonight and tomorrow night, and then the Silver Crown cars hit IRP on Friday. Before we move on, I have one USAC-related hot take today. I think there is a case to be made for Brady Bacon to go full-time winged sprint car racing, and like right now. And I know that might be blasphemous, especially for all of you non-wing fans, but just hear me out. Looking at sprintcarratings.com, Bacon has made more money winged racing this season in less races. That's obviously helped dramatically by the World of Outlaws win at Hobstop. But even if you take that victory out, he's still making more money on a per race basis in 2024 with the wing on. He's appeared at 9 winged races between the Outlaws, High Limit, and AFCS. He's made the feature in all but one event. He's got the Outlaw win, a 2nd with the AFCS at Attica, and an average finish of 12.4. His only missed feature was at Jacksonville, where he had that crash that could have been really bad. The main wing guys right now are all at over 20 starts at this point in the season, and if you average out Bacon's per race winnings, if you multiply that by 20 races or whatever, he could be upwards of $50,000 already this season. That would be more than Danny Dietrich and Spencer Basin have earned at the moment, and just behind Logan Schuchart. Between National Tour appearances, Ohio races, maybe the Maverick Series, and things like MOA and POWRi, I think Bacon could do really well. He hasn't run a significant wing schedule since 2017, and I could see that group getting better as they go with Billy Lawhead on the wrenches. Even with last night's podium run, he's already 215 points behind Seavey for the USAC Sprint Car title. If there was a year for him to do it, it might be this year. That's my hot take of the day. At Action Track USA last night, it was a packed house to see a nice field of 39 short track Super Series modifieds. Matt Williamson picked up the win, navigating lap traffic and holding off a challenge from Billy Pouch Jr. Alex Jankowski, a nice run to finish third as well. Remember, this was a show-up points-only event, so no movement in the South Region standings. Williamson leads that South Region right now by 7 points over Anthony Perego. Short Track Super Series is back next Thursday at Airborne Park. Up at Millbridge, last night was night 1 of 2 in town for the Xtreme Outlaw Midgets. I said yesterday this could be an opportunity for Ken and McIntosh to really blow this championship battle out, and that's exactly what happened. Karter Sarff dominated the feature, leading all 30 laps for season win number 2. But a podium for McIntosh with Ryan Timms down in 12th and a DNF for Chase McDermott means Ken and Mac's lead is now triple digits. 2 wins, 9 top 5s, and 9 top 10s in 9 races. That's going to be tough to beat no matter where you race. McIntosh at the moment leading the standings for both National Midget Series. That includes USAC. The Xtreme Midgets will do it all over again tonight at Millbridge before heading to Atomic Speedway this weekend. In Iowa, a busy Memorial Day weekend gets started tonight for the USMTS Modifieds. They've got 5 races in 5 nights coming up, with Hamilton County first. They will then hit Fayette County on Thursday, Mississippi Thunder on Friday, Deer Creek on Saturday, and Mason City on Sunday. All races this weekend are either 3,000 to win or 5,000 to win. It's been over a month since the USMTS last race, going back to Rodney Sanders' win at Tri-State back on April 20th. Jake Tim currently leads the championship over Dan Ebert and Terry Phillips. Jim Chisholm is the only driver with multiple wins through the first 9 races. If you can't get to the track this weekend, all of the USMTS shows are streamed live on Racing Dirt. Around the other dirt racing podcast this week, Wing Nation has Buddy Kofoid and Lucas Wolf, both recent winners. Dirt Track Confessions has Hannah Newhouse. She reports for pit reports for Dirt Vision. QuickTime has Dusty Zomer. Hoagie's Garage has Ashlyn Rodriguez, Kelby Watt, and Brian Brown. Turn 2 Terribles has Austin Bishop. Plum Wild has Joey Lindgren. Getting Up to Speed has Mark Garner. And there are new episodes of The Dirt Reporters, The Dirt Nerds, Dirt Tracks and Rib Racks, Racing Roundup, and The Drivers Project. Head over to DIRTRACKR.com/podcast to find some new shows to add to your podcast app. That's it for the Daily Show today. Make sure to like this video and subscribe wherever you tune in. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.